Okay, Internet and Creatures of the Beyond, we are back. Sorry, we had some technical issues there. The first monitor wasn't accepting my settings and stuff, so I had to move back to my second monitor. Anyway, we haven't done much. We have just added only this little shadow here with a soft, um, with a blur to soften it up. So, we are going to work. Let me get my bearings here. My bear. Okay. I'm not sure if the chat is going to show up. Anyway, never mind. Let's work on what we have. So we were doing some interesting things here. Technically, I should kind of do a shadow on this edge. Which we should do. We should definitely do this edge shadow. But I'm thinking first and foremost, we need to kind of give this idea of luminosity and let's see. Well, I kind of know that if the light comes here, we have shadow from this edge. So this surface should be affected. So we're gonna go with a small gradient over here. A gradient collaborate. Okay, so this gradient should be something darker here in the corner. Let's go with something a bit more saturated, not too much. And a little bit lighter on this edge, although I'm gonna add one more point here. And I'm gonna darken it sort of like this in here as well, because this corner turns the shadow on. So we have the light that comes. There is some natural shadowing happening from the outside as well, because the shadow goes diffuse. But anyway, this is just for the texture of the surface of this surface, whatever this surface is. We can kind of sort of do it the same here. So we go full opacity, and we also darken it just a little bit. Well, maybe a little bit more. Well, we can even push it a tiny bit more like this, because this shadow is prolonged underneath. It's just subtle, it's very subtle, we don't have to just focus too much on it. And this one, more or less, it can be a tiny bit darker, but a little bit more desaturated. Maybe it's too much. Or maybe it's not too much. Let's go a little darker. Okay, this one needs to be a lot darker than what we have here. Maybe we can use the same trick. Let's see. Kind of want to use this. And on this surface, so this one is not gonna change by much. This one is okay. But on this surface though, well, this surface is gonna be a tiny darker, so maybe we should go with something exactly like this. Or even better, let's do the same type of gradient. And go 100% on this. And I keep it a bit lighter on this edge. Yeah. So now if we look at it, it has a little, oops, sorry. It has a little bit more depth. It feels like this side is darker because the room doesn't have so much light on this edge. Maybe it is a bit too strong, so I'm gonna pull it off a bit just to lighten it up a tad more. So it's not exaggerated. Maybe even, well, no, let's do it like this. Yeah, that feels a bit more natural. And since we're going to add the shadows, I think the shadows will solve. The camera. I knew something was off. I knew it and I didn't realize it. Well, now we know. Now we fixed it, I hope. Okay. Now for this. I'm not yet sure how we're going to apply this shadow. Because I kind of don't want to blend it too hard. Although we could go with a sharp shadow, but then do we really want a sharp shadow? Since the natural light from outside, it's, let's say, well, if it's like towards the dusk or the morning, the shadows are more accentuated, more sharper. If it's during the daytime, depending on the surroundings, the shadow becomes softer. But if we would consider doing them sharp, let's just see for the fun of it. So it's a 12, okay? Definitely not that sharp, but not, yeah, not that sharp. Something like, well, maybe a 4, yeah. A 4 would be looking interesting. But also, interestingly enough, if the angle which the light is coming, we could kind of do a little trick. Sort of like create this idea of, but I think I'm pushing it too much. Let's see how it looks. It doesn't look good. I'm gonna leave it as it is right now. And we can come on later and fix it. Because I was thinking like doing some stripes to be more, but it's gonna waste a lot of our time. So let's just keep it normal. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we do want, actually no. First let's do the shadows on the frame. And we shall see from there. So the shadows on the frame should look something, depends on what kind of an angle we are orienting right now, because I can't just go like this. It's gonna look weird. So because the sun takes a sharper, a steeper angle, we might go just something a little more or less something like this. Let's see. So I'm gonna create this shadow over here. Yeah, something like this. This doesn't look bad at all. I actually like it. We could even go, but let's tone it down. Let's tone it down. First of all, let's create it something like, well, no. Either I diffuse the shadow. Let's see. If I go like this, no, it's not helping us. Then one alternative would be to go a bit more, no, the other way. The other way? Yeah, something like this. But let's do it manually. No, let's go, oops. Let's go from this. Let's go darker. And let's see how this looks. Maybe a bit of diffusion. Maybe a free. Can I push to a free? Or maybe a free. Well, let's take this off so I see what we're doing. Let's go with a 5 first. What happens if I push a 10? A 10 is too much. Technically, we could extend this and kind of mask it and clip it, but I'm gonna keep it simple, so I'm gonna go with a 5 or something like that. Yeah, a 5. Just so that we have a more natural shadow. Maybe a little darker, not that much. Yeah, something like that. Maybe this one is too dark. So let's try it a bit more. Yeah, I like this. It's warmer. It's a warmer shadow. And this same, well, let's do one thing though. Because we clearly have a little edge here that I don't really particularly like. So this one should go underneath this. There is a little edge here that kind of blends in too much. Maybe try to either desaturate this or increase it. Let's see if we increase it. Nah. If we desaturate it again, nah. I'm not particularly happy with it, but it's the best we can do for the moment. Could be better, could be worse. Maybe what's lacking here is the fact that this angle needs to be sharper. So if I try like this, maybe this can help us. So this is kind of the direction of the sun. I think it's parallel to this line. I think. I don't know. Let's hope it is. So I'm gonna keep it like that. Maybe it gives a little, the little extra detail that we're looking for. Okay, so that's one shadow. And now let's create the second shadow, which is going to come somewhere like this. I'm not sure. Maybe like this. Well, one way to make sure we are parallel is to just take this over here. And we are. Perfect. It's perfect lemon. Okay, so let's take this down. Let's go with our gradient. I'm gonna remove this and this. So we're just going to move it. Ah, damn it, the other way. Well, actually, never mind. I'm gonna go like this. And we're going to take, oh, oops, the same color as we did here. Bam. And again, a 5. Just to soften it up a bit. Yeah, yeah, okay. We can work with that. Maybe, actually, the thing is here it's a little darker, so this one should take the shape of this. And from this we go a tiny bit darker. Maybe even more. A little, well, maybe increase the saturation and let's see. Yeah, that kind of falls right there. Technically it should extend to this part, but as I said, I don't want to overdo it because then we're just gonna go into a depth of shadows and highlights. So I'm just going to give it just the rough outlines where the shadows should fall, and we keep the rest just in place. Now another one. This one is gonna be tricky. Tricky. And I kind of noticed something here, but I'm not sure. Actually, I do notice it, so I'm gonna extend this. I'm gonna extend it a bit to the right. Oops. Sorry, I meant you. And you. So, if I just go... oops. Why are you doing this? Just want you. And you. Just a tiny bit. Because there was that edge. Oh, maybe that's too much. Something like so. Just to mask it. Because if I go with the shadow on... I could go with the shadow underneath the frame though. Well, we're not gonna notice it. But anyway, I fixed that little thing that was annoying there. There's still some seams here and there. But no problem, we can always fix them afterwards. Now, for this. This one is gonna be sneaky. And I'm actually thinking, let's duplicate it. And let's do it by the book. So this is halfway this way. We could go halfway the other way, but maybe a little longer. Oops. Yeah, maybe a little longer. So 1 square away from that. So we're going 1 square away. What happened here? Really? So I want to move this somewhere like this. And now if I move this, I think I need to move it a tiny bit more. something like this. Yes. Why do we have 2 points here? Weird. Don't need that point. Probably there was a reason for it, but too late. A little bit too late. This one is too strong, so it should be something more or less like this. Let's change the color to kind of see if we're parallel with everything. I think we are. But I'm not happy with the results. Well, actually, no, I am happy with the results. I am happy with the results. So this shall be underneath everything. Let's make sure this one is underneath as well. So this is gonna be black. And we're gonna give some opacity to it. Aha, we already see a problem here. But no worries, we will fix it to the best of our abilities. I think it needs to be even lower. Am I even going lower? Oops, that's too much. Okay. And let's try to move these points. See what effect do we get. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna move you a bit more. Doesn't have to be perfect. Well, for some reason it's not perfect. I'm gonna put it here. Whatever. Then you, I'm gonna move you up here. Perfect. Okay, this shadow should be on top of, should be underneath this. Okay. Okay. This is very strong, obviously. I'm gonna reduce the opacity, maybe even do a stronger blur. Ooh, that's a lot. Wait. Let's remove. Okay, save. And let's play around a bit with these values. Okay, I still see some issues that make the window look like it's floating, so I'm not particularly happy with this. Which kind of gives me an idea. Let's duplicate this and let's make it as a clipping mask. And it's gonna go right underneath our shadow. And our shadow, it's going to extend. Let's extend it by a lot. Something like this. Doesn't even matter because we don't have to be clipped or anything. I just want to extend it long enough so I have more coverage here. Underneath it. Yeah, there we go. That's the spot. Okay, so we are going to select this one with This one actually, small issue. This one needs to be on top. So this one with this one. They select them both? Nope. Let's set the clip. Why is this so dark though? That's an interesting aspect I didn't take into account. Maybe it's a rendering issue. I don't even know at this point. It shouldn't be like this. Never seen this happen before. Well, first time for everything, I suppose. We're just gonna kind of eyeball it here. I don't care that much about the top side. We're still gonna soften the shadow and play a little bit with it because it's too strong. And there we go. It's okay. It's okay, little shadow. We have you. So maybe something. Let's try to go a little sharper. Sorry about that. Somehow it's still creating this floating effect for me. What could it be that I'm messing up? If I pull this? Very peculiar. Maybe it is a trick of the eye. But let's increase. I kind of like it. Maybe go a little lower, a little softer. Let's see that. What the hell is this? What? Okay, I remember. Okay, I think that kind of gives it the nice touch we're looking for. I think if we look closely, we can already see that there is an effect that creates on its own. So we kind of see like there is a light in the middle and shadow to the left and right. But in reality, there is no shadow here. This is because the brain is trying to compensate for what it's seeing. It's used to seeing like the edges softening the light and the shadow, so it's creating like a mirage for us, which is really cool. I really love it. We could actually do two more things here, but I'm a little bit afraid. In the sense that I'm not sure how this will react. I was thinking of extending this two lines. But I don't feel it's gonna look right. Well, let's try. At least let's try. Just see how it looks. So I'm gonna create a bit of geometry here, just so we can extend this. Well, let's kind of eyeball it here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm gonna create a bit of geometry here as well, just to give it an idea of something like this. Is it too much? Well, obviously we're gonna fix this, but I don't know. Looks good. Well, let's try. Let's try to fix it at least. Could even come with, but I think the angle is larger, so it should be something like this. Well, this one doesn't matter all that much, but oh, hello there, Marcos. Nice to see you again. I wonder, is this showing in the... Oh yeah, it's showing on the stream, the chat. I fixed it. Yay. Well, you know, I'm doing my old crazy stuff, trying to create the... Okay, this is an issue here. For some reason... Well, this is interesting. This is a nice case study. Well, let's try to move these things, see what's gonna happen. Well, whatever. I think the edges were too close. Something weird is happening. Ah, never mind. I took the wrong one. Oh gosh, how am I gonna take the correct one now? Not you. Just you. Okay. And I think you can go here as well. Perfect. I don't know. Does it look okay? Does it look natural? Well, I think it does. Maybe we should tone it down, but for some reason, I don't know why. I have the feeling there is a spot here. Well, and I should do this 3 times. I think I'm gonna just lower it a bit more. Yeah, I think that's the perfect spot. And I think this illusion here, that it's a little bit curved, is because of the angle where it's blurring things out. And this blurriness becomes like a blob. And it gives us the impression, but it's still a trick of the eye. Well, what can we do? I mean, they're small details, and once you look at the picture in one go, you're not gonna notice them, obviously. But the idea is that when you're working, you're always observing these tiny little details because they're not going exactly how you want. But, well, we have to adapt and accept. Oops. What did I do? What did I do? Okay, let's create more geometry here. Let's re-enable our beautiful grid. Greedy grid. It's a greedy grid. Okay, so for this, I'm going to put some geometry here and here. Hey, no, why are you doing that? Well, whatever. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to kind of you know, look parallel. So this one is a little thicker. Maybe we can even push it a bit more. I just noticed something. This isn't perfectly parallel. Not that it's a problem or anything, but you know, it's a problem when I notice it. What the hell? How unparalleled did I go? Maybe I need to go a little. Is there an angle or something? So it's it's 1, 2, 3. And how many do I have here? Oh, I have too many. Yeah, there we go. We fixed our little issue. And I'm thinking this one should be a tiny fatter. Maybe even more fat. We should be generous. Whoops. Let's look at it from a larger point of view. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bad. Maybe it's a bit strong here, but I'm gonna come with a gradient at the end. See how I can kind of trick it into smoothing out. Okay. I'm gonna leave it like that. So let's create more geometry here. I'm not doing exactly on the right, but you know, because the shadow always pushes a little bit to the left, so I'm kind of eyeballing it. I could go a little bit more accurate than this, but meh. I feel adventurous today. It's good to take some nice risks from time to time, you know. Just have fun with what you're doing. Because, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, okay, this one. Something like this. And like this, I don't know. Okay, so this one should be thinner. Did we eyeball it correctly? That is my question. So this is 1, 2, 3. And we have here 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Are we on the same angle? Kind of looks a bit wobbly. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let's remove the gray, the snapping. I'm not 100% sure I made them all on the same angle. I definitely did not make them on the same angle. Yeah, definitely not. Just realize how off the angle is. So we need to go a little bit more to the left. 1, 2, 3. And the same to this one. This needs a bit more to the left. Well, anyway. Okay. I think that is the correct position. Although I feel like this one could use a bit more correction here. Maybe even more. Yeah, maybe something like this. Let's see. Maybe this one, I pushed it a bit too much, yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a gradient, kind of, well, I would take a gradient and do it like so, but if it would only work, okay, I think hmm, this is gonna be tricky. Hmm. Well, I think that's okay-ish. Kind of want it to fade out here at the edge a bit, so it's not all that strong. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Although, yeah, okay, we can leave it as it is. This is gonna be a tiny bit darker. Oh, that's too much. Maybe a little bit desaturated, let's see. Yeah, that feels more natural now. And for some reason, this one, I don't agree with it. I feel like either we go a little bit less. Sorry about all of the stuttering and stuff. But we already have a lot of details here and it's starting to just look weird and crazy. Okay, I think that looks natural enough. We have already given our walls and everything the colors we need. We could go with an extra shadow underneath here. Mm, although it should be quite of a mute shadow. But considering that, I think I'm gonna put too much weight on the lower part if I add that shadow. But just as an idea, I'm just curious how it will look. So let's plot a shadow just like so. Why isn't it going lower? Am I inside something? No. So it should go lower. Okay, okay, here. So let's sort of say like this is a dark shadow. Hmm. Well, maybe it doesn't look all that bad. Maybe even subtler. Yeah, I think it compensates this corner. And it kind of shows that this is getting out of the wall, but in this case, if I'm gonna do it like that, I need a little diffuse shadow here as well. So um, well, depends. I didn't use crazy extra textures. I just put something very. Mm, I mean, they're just three pictures here. So, and they're not super high resolution. But if you have too many, then yeah. And I use that they're already wobbled because I used the extension that I showed in the first episode. So it does have a small impact, but depends how many textures you use at one point, and you can also reduce the quality of the textures if you think it's too high quality. If it's too big, like in pixel size. Mm, and for that, you can use anything like GIMP or whatever. So yeah, I think we should add a very subtle text shadow here, or maybe even lower. This is gonna be very diffuse. So I'm not trying to make it perfect, and I don't even try to kind of sync it here with everything else. I just want to put it something sort of like this. It's gonna come underneath, so it's gonna be masked. Well, maybe a little higher. Something like this, and like this. So we want to go again with, maybe this one will be, let's first put it dark so we know what we're working with. Even lower. I think. Well, let's see how it looks on when we diffuse it. So it's gonna go maybe at 20. Maybe that's too much. Something like this. Although I'm not happy with this corner here, so we're just going to trim it. Let's see, bam, bam. Maybe push it a little higher. Something like this. Maybe even give it a bit more geometry here, because we have this corner. Maybe we go something sort of like this. Let's see. Hey, don't go crazy on me. Maybe lower this a little bit more. Just sort of like this. It's not as perfect as I want it to be, but it gives that pop out that this window is here, but still it's too strong. Let's lower it. It's way too strong. Maybe go with a 30 and maybe lower, something like a 7. Let's see. maybe here we can actually push the angle a bit. Maybe it's too much. Less angle. Just a tiny bit to give it the impression that here it comes sort of not so so straight. But even so, it's still too strong for me. Let's see, maybe a 20. Yeah, a 20 makes it look more natural. I know it's barely visible, but the idea is that it kind of creates this transition between the edge of the frame and the wall, so it's not so sharp. There is a little bit of blurriness here. Of course, if you go close, you can totally see that, like, this doesn't look super perfect, but it's the idea of how you see it in perspective from afar. Things can still be improved here and there, but I think we can work with what we have at the moment. So I have only one issue here. This glass, well, this glass is kind of looking nice. I want to lighten it up a bit. I don't know. Let's keep it as it is. What else? We're starting to work too much on this window, and we're losing the principle of what we're doing here. I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking to add something sort of as a mirror maybe here. Maybe something squarish, because mirrors give the impression that the room is usually... Uh, this is a little trick. If you have a small room, if you put a mirror, a big mirror in it, on a wall, it's gonna give the impression that it's more space. Of course, it's an illusion, but the idea is like it opens the space somehow, and it gives more depth, because you see like this idea of duality in reflection, obviously, but it kind of like gives you like you have more space to stretch. I don't know, just as an idea. And what else could we do? So a mirror over here. I was initially thinking of adding a lamp, but that would mean that I would have to maybe add an extra light source here, so I'm not entirely happy about that idea. And maybe a flower, because what I'm thinking is, what if we want to do something circular? Right now we only worked with angles around here. Oh, and this one we still haven't finished. I was thinking, but I think I'm gonna leave this for last to add the highlights and shadows on this. I don't want to jump too fast into it. That will be kind of like an edge effect. Although I was thinking over here, what if we add, I don't know, sort of like um, this sort of light. I don't know, something like this maybe? Let's go floor blur. Because there is the outside light. So it should kind of fall over here. Obviously it's not gonna be this color. I'm just giving it as a placeholder right now. So I'm thinking something soft, like so, and maybe something towards a brown, an orange, maybe a little bit more orangish. Orange. Yeah, something around here, maybe even lighter. Just to soften that edge. So it gives the room a bit more lighting. Well, maybe 20 is too much. I should go with a 15. 16. Okay, let's keep it at 16. The idea is that it doesn't need to create the impact very strong. It just needs to smooth out the stone, the surface with the light. Maybe we'll even do it a bit lighter. It's too orange for my taste. And this light kind of helps to smooth out some of the crevices between the stones in this case, and to see where the lighter side should be, where the darker side should end. You know, it's kind of like a little trick, so it doesn't just cut in half. All of this shadow shouldn't cut in half the wall. One other thing that I was playing with was this. This is something that you put at the edge of the wall to kind of mask where the edge of the floor ends, because since this is wood, laminated wood, something. This kind of there are edges, you know. So if in order to mask that, we kind of use something like this. But I was thinking of creating something. I don't know. I'm plotting. I'm just still plotting right now. If it should look like this, maybe I could change the shape. It doesn't need to be the same color. The point is for this to just give it that extra detail. Well, welcome back. So let's darken it a bit in this corner, and I'm gonna lighten it up here, but oops. I don't like something about this. Maybe we need to add an extra shadow at the bottom, just something subtle. Although this is a little bit too white, let's darken it. Not by much. Well, actually, that corner should be a little darker because it doesn't reflect. This area should have a little bit of darkness in it, but this area shouldn't. So I'm gonna keep this one lighter. I'm gonna put this one to the same color as this. And voila. This one, well, we can leave it as it is. This one, on the other hand, no, I'm gonna close it a lot more. Well, whatever, I'm gonna leave that. And maybe actually I'm gonna do something here. I don't particularly like... Oops, I'm too close. This one should have an angle. But in this case it should... Well, if it's this one, then... Wait. So I kind of want the angle to be oriented from this side. So in this case... come on. Cooperate with me. So I'm gonna try to pull it a bit. Okay, why is this like so? Let's look for a spot for it to kind of... I don't want it too strong, just... Well, I think that's enough. It shouldn't look like that, it should be the other way. Should I do it the other way? Technically, it's kind of in the center, but whatever. Since we're kind of looking at 45. But no, I feel like the other one should be the dominant one. So let's do it the other way. The other way. Yeah, like this. Perfect. Okay, so where were we? Maybe this one should be a tiny bit whiter. This one a tiny bit darker. No, that's too much white. Oops. Maybe I can help it here. Let's try to do something interesting about this. I'm gonna do this black. I'm gonna put it underneath and I'm gonna give it a little bit of blur. And reduce the opacity. Let's see how this looks. It's not bad. Maybe 20. I want to do it very subtle. I think this will work. I was thinking of adding an extra shadow down here, but I think we're just pushing our luck with that. Let's try this one as well. So I want, I want to duplicate this. I want to make it dark. Put it underneath it. Go with, well, this one could be a tad stronger. Maybe a 40. Okay. And I want the same treatment as the other one, so this one should have the lighter side. Maybe we're gonna cover this part, it's not all that important, but the idea is kind of like over here. This is a bit darker. And this is gonna be dark as well. And this one is going to be light. So something like that. Maybe I should darken this color a little bit more. use kind of the references around it. No, the other one. And this one should be way darker, something like this. Maybe this one in the middle here. A tad darker, not too much. Maybe a 31. Let's see. No, that's too dark. Maybe I think yeah, I was off a bit. Okay, that should look okayish. Should give the room a little bit more place to wiggle. Maybe we can move this a bit more to the left. Yeah, something like that. Okay, okay, we can work with this. So we said a mirror here. I am thinking of maybe add a painting or something here. Maybe a little furniture thing here. Although I will have to take references for that, so I'm kind of plotting what to do. Or what if we do a round table in the middle? That would be interesting. And a sofa, sort of, although kind of like weird. Why would you put a sofa oriented towards towards the wall? Maybe towards the corner, sorry. Maybe a sofa here. I was thinking changing the angle and going with something like this, but it wouldn't feel normal. So either do a chair here or a sofa here, a table here, maybe a TV here that's reflective rather than a mirror. I think that makes much more sense because you want to go watch TV on the sofa. Yeah, that would make much more sense to me. And if we're gonna put the TV here, we could have a secondary, maybe 2 tables. Do I have enough space? And the question is, how big will the sofa be? Decisions. This is taking a little bit of... So, just as an idea, we're gonna plot the position of the elements. Just see what we're going to do. So if I put it like this, I'm gonna keep the same angle. So sort of like, let's say from here, like this. Like this. Like, is this the correct angle? Can't even know anymore. Maybe something like this. Let's make it dark. So this is gonna be our table. So sort of like this high. No, I think that's too high. Let's lower it. Hey, go back. Let's lower it a bit. Sort of like this. Okay. And we're going to create this part just to see as an idea. I think I did the angle wrong. Did I? Yeah, I did the angle wrong. Oh gosh, I messed it up really bad. Well, mistakes were made. Oh, never mind. I messed up the angle from this direction. No? The hell? Okay, maybe like this. And we also have to fix this part on the lower side. What the hell did I do here? Did I change the... Oh god. I don't know why I did that. Mistakes happen. And this one needs to be a tiny bit more like this to align with this corner. And again, I'm not happy. Something's off. Okay, I think now it's fixed. Again, the table is a bit too high. Oops. So I'm gonna lower it like so. This is just for the plotting, so the table will obviously look different. Okay, we can work with this table like this. Let's see where the next part will be. So I'm thinking the secondary table should be somewhere like so. Geez, I didn't align it at all. Why isn't it aligning the way I want it? Yeah, like that. So this table should be smaller, should be some oops. Should be something like, let's take this as a reference, and for this maybe something like so. Doesn't have to be square. I don't know, should it be the same height? Maybe a bit higher. Just a tiny bit. Not by much. Just to give a little bit of the impression that they're not on the same level. Okay. So what else? Ah, we need a sofa. So the sofa should be somewhere like so. But obviously it's gonna be wider and taller. So it should go somewhere like, oh, maybe not that much. Is it correct? Yeah. Maybe a bit more. Oh, 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 oh. Only you two. Maybe a bit more like so. Is it keeping the... okay. So I think that should look okay. So this table, I think it's the right width. I think the sofa is not the right width. Yeah, I think something like this. And since it's a sofa, doesn't leave much of a room here though. But well, let's say it's a smaller room. Or we can kind of push this a bit more. Let's see, I'm gonna push it 2 more. Maybe push this tiny bit more like so. I'm looking for spatial orientation here. Okay, so the sofa could be a little bit lower than the table. The table could be the centerpiece. Maybe the table could be even a little bit more higher. No, it's not difficult. Nothing is difficult when changing angles. But the thing is, I don't have enough room. I thought by making the room larger like this would be enough room, but now that I think about it, it's not. Or I could try to do 2 chairs here, but kind of looks dumb, you know. This is more like a living room, so I'm thinking maybe what if the sofa is in a small angle, sort of like so. But then I also need to change this angle. This is complicating things. This is complicating things. How do I change the angle on this? Kind of need to count it. Because if I, yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to change the angle correctly. Well, yeah, the furniture is not gonna be an issue. I'm just looking to see how I can make the angles look correct. Nope. And I'm gonna tell you why. This one needs to be lower. So this one needs to be lower like so. This corner has to be more in the angle. It's so difficult to change the surface. Technically, yeah, but I can't keep the same. If this would be like a 3D software, it would be easy because it always has the surface in contact with the object. So when it turns, but for me doing this, oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it straight. I don't have an option here. I wanted to make it look smart or anything like that, but I'm not all that smart. What can you do? I accept defeat when I don't know what to do. Okay, so this one is too much to the edge, maybe a little bit closer, so we have a little bit of spatial orientation. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of sad right now because I can't angle it the way I was thinking it in my head, but it's it's mathematics. Technically, if I create circle, we're complicating and we're losing time doing things that are just dreams. But you know, you have to die for a dream from time to time. So let's see this one. If I go like this, yeah, I think that would work. This would be the back. I don't want to make it squarish though. I think I'll need some time to look through some things. Yeah, I know. But that would mean that I have to go into Blender, do the surfaces, then try to kind of angle it with this. It's possible, but for me, I haven't used Blender in a while, so reminding myself all of the little details is it's gonna take a day or two. It would be a nice thought experiment, but I don't think I'm ready to just jump between Blender and Inkscape at the moment. I could look for some references to eyeball it. Maybe I can find some other artwork that kind of matches my angle and see how they kind of position things. But yeah, I'm gonna have to browse the internet, which I'm not gonna do online because I'm gonna bore you guys to death. But yeah, so this is gonna be the sofa positioning at the moment. And I was thinking like we could create maybe sort of like a little painting over here. Let's make it like so. And the TV would go somewhere over here, maybe a little taller. Um, wait. How did I combine these two? It was like so. Okay, that doesn't look bad. I'll probably make this one kind of semicircular on the edges, just as an idea, and I'm gonna put some legs on it. So it's gonna be a flat TV, flat screen TV. Maybe a bit larger. I don't know. I feel like this TV could use an enhancement. We're gonna make, maybe that is too wide. A bit smaller on this side. Well, I don't want it exactly in the corner, but whatever. It's a big TV. Yeah, I think that works. And we kind of want a vase in the corner. Maybe one more painting over here, something like so, just for decoration purposes. Oops. Maybe a bit more thinner. Yeah, something like that. Although, maybe I should put the flower over here in the corner. Yeah, that would make much more sense. Yeah, that is true. I haven't done a lot of what's it called? Of isometric art in the past. So this is my most professional attempt. So that's why I'm also learning as I'm doing these things. So I'm not trying to cram too much info into it. But I was thinking, let's sort of create a little lamp. A little lamp, a little flower. So in order to do... Oh, oops. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this one needs to be on top. In order to do circles, first we're going to create... Oh, I think I can escape with a circle like so. And since we're kind of trying to keep the same orientation, well, this is sneaky because we have a problem. Oh, or maybe can't seem to get the correct angle. How should I... maybe this works. It looks a little wrong for some reason. I don't know why exactly. Maybe I should enhance it. Technically, it should be an axis here that we should orient ourselves. But I am starting to see an issue here. The issue being that this is not going in an angle. This should go, I don't know. No, no, okay, I see what the problem is. I don't know exactly how to fix it. Let's try something different. Let's try to make a circle. I am not sure. Is this correct? Not sure exactly what I'm orienting it to. So technically, if I duplicate this circle, put it like so, and then if I create something like this, damn it, it's not working as I'm intending it to. Yeah, no, I'm trying to kind of orient. Oh, wait, what if, can I orient it this way? Oh, yeah, look, perfect. Yeah, I'm not totally convinced. Still doesn't look super rounded, but it's a good attempt. I might have to. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. It's it's not feeling perfect. Oh, definitely not feeling it. It's kind of going where I want it to go, but not exactly for some reason. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is the correct angle. It feels too oval. And I don't know what I'm messing here. I'll have to do some geometry lessons. Well, I'm getting close to what I'm looking for, but it's too much eyeballing here, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel as circle-ish as I want it to be. And when I'm not playing with I don't know, I haven't tried to do circular elements before in isometric, because the proportions kind of have to be the same. I'm gonna turn back to this. Um, yeah, it is a lot of decision making, but you know, it's fun because you are the creator of what you're making and you take all of decisions where everything goes here and there, and you can create the room that you imagine in your mind and just transpose it on the visual and be like, wow, I'm the master of this ship. But I'm gonna have to take a break here because my mind is going in circles right now, and I have to see where I can improve some of these elements, and I need to references for everything, especially new textures for the paintings. Right now, I can't take them out of my mind. So yeah, I need to do some my research. But yeah, it was a fun session, and I'm gonna continue next time. Unless I'm gonna play next time. Okay, catch you guys later. Stay awesome, and bye 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 bye.